Hey y'all, I'm your host, Aaliyah Lee, and welcome back to another episode of my new podcast, The Life After, where we talk about the life after sports. We talk about the transition from playing your sport into the real world. We have current athletes, past athletes, and yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in again. Hit the like and subscribe button for me, please, and in the comments, definitely leave your thoughts, comments, concerns, and yeah, let's get this started. So, with that being said, let's get into our first guest today. Hello. How are you doing? How are you doing, Mr. Bennett? How are you?
Vibing, man. Vibing.
What's going on?
Enjoying this holiday season.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Art bars,
right.
Family. You know what I'm saying? Right. Staying ready.
So for the people who don't know who you are already, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us your name, give us your background a little bit.
All right. If you don't know who I am, what's good, y'all? My name is Kivon Bennett, aka KB, aka Squid, aka Ivy Man. I got too many AKAs. But I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You know what I'm saying? I play football, do a couple other things too, artistic endeavors, etc. So, you know, I'm here with the homegirl Leah. We're finna get into it. So.
And then give them your name on your socials.
Okay. Instagram at KB_Versace. Twitter at KB_Versace. SoundCloud, Ivy Man, Apple Music, Ivy Man. I just dropped a single probably like a month ago. Ice Spice, go check that out.
Tune in. Okay, do a little bit of everything. So, with that being said, let's get into your sport a little bit. So you play football,
right? And
what position do you play?
I'm an edge rusher, mainly. You know, grew up. I done played every position in the front seven. So DN, outside linebacker, inside linebacker, D tackle. I did a little bit of everything in the front seven. So yeah.
And okay, so for people watching that don't specifically know exactly what your position is, you know what I'm saying? Explain it to the people who don't specifically watch.
So, basically, I get on the quarterback ass. That's my main job. Keep them on their toes, make plays in the backfield, disruption, etc. You have to be a dog. When you play defense, it's really that dog eat dog mentality. So that's really what that shit is. I can curse?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. Bet. Yeah.
You're not filtered over here. You good.
All right. For sure.
It's a safe space. It's a safe space. Also, again, to say happy holidays, everybody. If you know me, I love the Christmas spirit. So we got everything in the background. We got his jersey as well, which went perfect with our decoration. So thank you for that. We got my little gnome right here. And yeah, I just had to get it festive. Got the red on. You actually got some holiday colors on too.
Just a
little bit.
Ed Hardy shirt. Probably ain't seen one of these in a minute. The jeans.
That's really coming back into style right now for real. I've seen that.
Jeans, just thrift jeans. You can't see the shoes, but the irises.
Okay. We'll get into your whole fashion side. Yeah, we'll get into those whole fashion later. That's a whole nother story for sure. So to get back into football, what got you into football in the first place from childhood?
So really my first true sport was basketball. I started hooping when I was 4. I actually played golf too. I started playing golf when I was 3.
But okay. Yeah. That's different.
Yeah. Okay. I started off a hooper, but my dad is Cornelius Bennett, aka Biscuit. College football Hall of Famer, should soon be in the Pro Hall of Fame as well. Oh, wow. 14 years in the NFL. 3-time All-American in Alabama. One of the only ones to do that. Number 2 overall pick in the 87 draft. Oh, wow. His resume dumb long. I ain't gonna lie to you. Pro Bowl, AFC Defensive Player of the Year, types of shit. So, but yeah, that's really it was always in me. Mm-hmm. But at first, football wasn't really my love for real. I was, you feel me, hooping bad. Yeah. I was hooping my first year playing organized, you feel me, ball. I remember the last game, I hit a game winner on the fast break layup. I was full, and I won some sort of award. It was best handles or some shit like that. And after that, I ain't gonna lie, you feel me? Mm-hmm. It was basketball for the longest, and then I started playing flag football. I ain't started playing tackle till I was like 10. I played 1 year for the Hollywood Eagles, PAL, right here down the street. And then the school that I went to, we had a middle school team. I went to university school first, in Davie. So we had a middle school league. So then from 6th grade on, I started playing for my school. And from 6th to 8th grade, you know what I'm saying, I started off as a running back. I played tight end too, and like middle linebacker. I really didn't start playing D-line until I got a little bigger. But yeah, it's like it really started off like that. 6th through 8th grade, played for the school. And then 8th grade, at the end of our season, they wanted to move me up to JV, but I wasn't really fucking with football like that much.
You're
like
still stuck with ball?
I was still hooping, like, man, like in my head, like I'm still NBA, like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you was really trying to...
Nah, I was really like, you feel me? Shout out Stan Remy, my old trainer, man. Elite NBA trainer. He trained D-Way, Grievin Vasquez. The Remy runs down here in Miami. Go check them out if you don't know. Hashtag free plug. Shout out my dog, Stan. But yeah, he was my trainer, elite trainer. I was on it, like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't play football my whole, like, I didn't go up to JV, and then the start of freshman year, probably like the whole first half of the season, I didn't even play football. Like, I was just focused on basketball for real. And my coach, legend, Roger Harriet, he every week, every time they see me, him and my other coach, Coach Luke, they used to always get on my ass like, bro, you tripping, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I was nice at basketball. Like, so, I still get on nigga ass, by the way. But
were you better at the time being, not your personal preference, not what you personally like, like not based off what you personally like better, but realistically, what were you better at the time being, football or basketball?
I think my whole childhood, all the way probably up until 9th grade, I really would say basketball to me. Like, and not even from like a enjoyment standpoint, just like the work that I put in. Like, I was putting in work. Like, I'm outside hooping. Like, my mom telling me neighbors complaining about the ball bouncing that night and shit. You feel me? Like, I got 2 basketballs at the crib. Like, I'm doing handles. Like, you know what I'm saying? The shit that I'm doing with Stan, I'm going home and doing the same shit. Like, so I ain't really start like training for football probably until going into 11th grade, probably. That was when I really started training for like football and shit.
How did your dad, with your dad's record, as you were just saying, in his history, how did he take you wanting to hoop more the whole time? Was he like just very open to it, or was he kind of like...
No,
like so more biased towards football, because you know?
Nah, the old boy, man, my dad one of the coolest, you feel me, out. He really always let me choose what I've ever wanted to do. I think that just stands out in like me and my personality now, but I'll circle back to that. But my dad, he never has ever pressured me to do anything.
Okay.
Not even sports, just whatever I wanted to do. Like, I was a great scholar growing up my whole life. My mom used to be a teacher, so I was honor classes my whole life. If you go in our pantry, like, it's all my honor roll shit from like middle school all the way up until like, you feel me, 12th grade for real. Like, I was a runner-up in the spelling bee 5th grade. Like, you feel me? So I was always versatile. Like, I used to play the piano. I grew up playing the piano. I was in recitals, played tennis, I played golf. You feel me? So like my dad always let us be really like well-rounded. He never like made me or I got 2 sisters, but me or my sister, my middle sister Miko, never really made us choose anything that we were doing. Not even my older sister Ari, but he always just like stood back and just let us do what it was. He wasn't one of those toxic parents at the game screaming on the fence like, I'm my old boy chilling.
Yeah, probably because he's been through it all.
You know what I'm saying?
So did that help like throughout, obviously probably just your career too, because he could probably relate so much as well?
Absolutely. I would definitely say that just helps in everything for real, because my parents, not just my dad, but my mom too, just always just let me be me for real. And I just think that's why I've I feel like I'm able to really do anything. And I don't really, not from like a facetious standpoint, like from like actually like I'm really good at multiple things, but also it's like I got that shit titled inside my arm: to whom much is given, much is required. So it's like if you have all this ability or this, that, and the third, whatever you have, it's your responsibility to capitalize on it. And that's one thing that they always was very much like big on. It's like whatever you're gonna do it. You ain't never gonna quit nothing, even if you don't like it, you're gonna finish out this season. You feel me? Like it was just always like breeding excellence in my household. Like we used to do academic games. Like I said, my mom used to be a teacher. So
were you ever in her class?
No, like she stopped teaching, like, you feel me, basically to raise me and my sister, but she was a teacher for a few years, like at the beginning of like right before she met my dad, like the beginning. But then the old boy snapped. He was like, "You don't gotta work no more." You feel me? So like, but yeah. So we used to do like academic games. Man, I used to read the dictionary, bro.
Oh wow, like, okay.
So like,
so it's just like, it was just,
you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like in our household, like whatever we was doing, like it was just so well rounded that like me and my sister, like we're like really good at like a lot of things, just because that's how we grew up. Right. Like we used to have to do X, Y, and Z before we could even try and play whatever little game or watch a little piece of TV before we go to bed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just always a lot of shit. Like we used to fucking in the car on the way home. My mom used to like make up those songs and shit to help us with our homework. Like, you feel me? Like, all like, bro, it's so much. Like, and I just owe it all to my people for real, and God for sure, of course. But I just owe it to my people, bro, for them just putting us in a lot of shit when we was younger. But not, I won't even say putting us in it, but like just allowing us to experience a lot of things. Right. Like younger. If you wanted to do something, you know what I'm saying? Like, so. I definitely feel as though that's like the biggest, what you could say, like the biggest conduit into like the whole person I am today. For real.
And I feel like that definitely shows too, and just from the time I've known you.
Yeah, most definitely.
For sure. So getting back into, so that's like your childhood a little bit. So you were getting into high school. So you were saying you were on JV and the varsity, and you're still like going back and forth.
Yeah. So I'll give you the whole sports rundown. So yeah, like I said, it was basketball. So I didn't play the first half of the football season, but then like when I came back even that year, like I just dressed out on varsity for real and played in like the rest of the JV games. Like I remember like when they finally convinced me to play, like, or we had a game, I'm talking about like 4 or 5 hours later, like I just made the decision, like, all right, bro, I'm gonna play. And it so happened that niggas had a game that day. Man, the old boy had to run to the doctor, get my physical, run back, like, you feel me? It was some crazy shit. But so I played basketball, JV, and I played football a little bit, JV, and then dressed out for varsity my 9th grade year. Then basketball, like, so after my 9th grade year, that's like when I had like my first like growth spurt for real. It's like I grew a little bit like taller, but like that's when I started really getting my size like this way, you feel me? Yeah. So then it was like, okay, my dad always told me when I was legit, he was like, your body is gonna choose your sport. You ain't gonna choose your sport.
I feel like it's
because my pops played, like, my pops same way, like, played basketball, like, lettered in basketball. He played baseball as well. You know what I'm saying? And so he always told me that, like, your body is gonna end up choosing your sport. So that's when I started putting on a little weight. I think I was like probably like 230 going into like my sophomore year. So that's when I started like, okay, football is like, it's starting to lead the tide. But I still hooped my sophomore year. But so I played JV basketball my sophomore year. But that's like when I kind of started to figure out that it's time to start leading on football, because what it was, and it's crazy, like, I'm gonna give you a little background in both of my sports in my school. But I grew up, both my schools that I went to my whole life, I think might have the most talent sports-wise out of any school. Like
Broward?
No, my specific schools,
Oh,
University School and St. Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
But our middle school team was crazy, like in both sports.
Mm-hmm.
So we had in football, I'll just go down the list. Like we had Nick Bosa, we had Brian Burns, we had me, we had Quincy Wilson, we had Marco Wilson, we had my dog Henry. He went started at 3 different schools in college.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, we had Vernon Carey. Vernon Carey's in the league. He went to Duke. I used to start over him for a little bit, and then sophomore year, I ain't gonna lie, like that boy started, you feel me? And that's like I was riding a little more bench that year. I ain't gonna lie, and I was like, you feel me? All right, so whatever. Josh Sanguinetti, he played at Indiana. Zay Flowers, he balling right now for the Ravens. Go check my dog out number 4, that boy Zay. Bro, it's so many people that I went to school with growing up, but like we just always was so inclined in sports that like I just grew up in like a championship environment for real. Like won states when I was a jit. Like the varsity team won states, but I was still in middle school and shit at university school. And then I transferred to St. Thomas, and I transferred to St. Thomas for my 11th grade and 12th grade. And then we two-peated in football. Well, it really 3-peated, but I wasn't there my sophomore year. So they won sophomore year, and then I was there. They won junior year and then senior year. So it was really a 3-peat, but I was there for 2 of them. So like I just grew up like top class sports, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just,
and that's also like top like workouts, like
we was on college time in high school. Like I can definitely say I was a lot more prepared for like the strength and conditioning than a lot of jits that we came to school with in college. But yeah, shout out a couple quick shout outs. Shout out Coach Harriet, shout out Coach Fern, Coach Luque, Coach West, Coach Riley, Coach Holt. All y'all boys got us right. Dean Biasati, my dog. Just all of them, man, just growing up, like, throughout both of the schools that I went to, because my Coach Harriet, he was a coach at University School and St. Thomas, so he was my coach, like, basically my whole life. So, yeah, it just bred champions. We was number 1 in the country at U School. Also was number 1 in the country at St. Thomas. St. Thomas, statistically, not like a I'm saying it because I went there. We've put more players in the NFL than any school ever in the nation. That's a stat.
Okay.
Like, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Our resume is deep. Like, dumb deep. I ain't gonna lie, we've been winning forever. Shout out Coach Smith too, man. He the man with the plan. He started all that at St. Thomas, man. Coach George Smith, he a legend. Good man right now. But yeah, so we was just, you feel me, number 1 in the country. Like, we was, you know,
so that means the recruiting process for you with college must have been busting for you.
Busting for sure. I had
talk about that a little bit. Your the journey,
I had 30 plus offers. I really could have went anywhere I really wanted to. I was blessed to not only be at a school like that, but also like I was out there big going fed, like, you know what I'm saying. So like I wasn't no slouch. High school too. I've always just been one of them ones, for real, to be honest.
Oh, okay, my bad, big stepper.
Nah, but yeah, my senior year at St. Thomas, I won defensive MVP. We played in the bowl game in December in the Cowboys practice facility when they just had built it. That was 2017. I won MVP in that game. I was 4-star, you know what I'm saying? So my experience, my recruiting experience was hectic. It was really hectic, but it's crazy now, like NIL and all that, but we can get back to that in a second.
Yeah.
We can get back to that in a second. But like, so I think
that's a whole different conversation.
Who was my first offer, fam? Maybe I want to say my first offer might have been like Cincinnati.
I was gonna expect you to say I was gonna expect you to say Florida school actually.
No. I think my first offer was like Cincinnati, maybe, and like FAU, And my third offer, shout out Coach Harbaugh, was Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I knew I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah. Then after
okay.
like, so it's like how it goes. Like after you get one of those big offers, then the rest of the hoes just start flooding. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, especially like we were so cold, bro. We had I think 23, maybe I might be misquoting the number 23 Power 5 D1 players, and then we had more people that went Group of 5, FCS, and then a couple like D2 players and shit too. So that's another great thing that Coach Harriet, man, he got them connects, bro. He gonna get you in school. You know what I'm saying? Great man right there. But yeah, the recruiting process was crazy. I think after I got Michigan, it was just like Ohio State and like Michigan State, and I started getting SEC offers, and it was like all that. So then, like I said, my dad, Alabama legend, he has one of the most famous plays in the history. Like I said, 3-time All-American, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I got the Alabama offer and the Tennessee offer on the same day. I walked down to the office, to the sports office, and
in your high school?
Yeah, my high school. And I talked to I think I talked to Coach Cristobal on the phone from Bama. He was at Bama at the time. He's the head coach of the U now. But Coach Cristobal, I think, called me and gave me the offer over the phone. And then Coach Zach Azani from he was at UT at the time. He was in person and he offered me right after I got off the phone with them. So it was really, honestly, I think it was just, to me personally, it was really only between Bama and Tennessee. I was fucking with Michigan heavy. Actually, Coach Harbaugh, I low-key got to apologize because I went up there for a visit and they was trying to get me to work out and I ain't never show up. Like, I was in Ann Arbor, but I ain't never go to the campus because they told me, they tried to sneak me with a workout when I got off the plane, and I'm like, I'm still in high school, like, I'm not getting paid for this workout. Why were you there in the first place? I thought I was just about to go on like an official visit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just visit the campus and all that, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't planning on going up there to work out. And especially when my dad having the experience that he has, he's like, nah, bro, we're not going for that. So we just ended up spending the weekend in Ann Arbor, and I ain't never go to the campus. But Michigan was really close.
Did you apologize to him or no?
No.
This is your apologize right now.
Yeah, Coach Harbaugh, you shining right now too, dog. My fault, fam.
Oh man.
Michigan State had a good run with me because one of my dogs, Toon, he was going there. Coach Dan Mullen was at Mississippi State. One of my other brothers was going there, so they had an all right little run. But mostly, yeah. And there was a couple sneakers at the end. So like how it goes, like closer to signing day, certain teams will just like blitz you, like really, really close to that shit, even if you committed. Because I think I committed to UT going into my senior year. And it was like close to signing day. It was like USC, Southern Cal was like blitzing me heavy. But they made it known over the phone that they wanted to work me out. And that's how that ended. So they didn't even go out there. Who else? Ole Miss. Ole Miss was blitzing me heavy towards the end.
That recruiting process is a cold world.
It's crazy. Like, they blitzing. But it's funny, though, because if you think about it, like, especially in conference, like, the coaches just really be backdooring each other. They all know each other. They've all coached under the same coach or coached together, or they daddy and their uncle and their cousin was coach. You feel me? They might have played together, all types of shit. So it's really like they're trying to backdoor each other for recruits and shit. But Ole Miss was trying to blitz me heavy. And then Louisville made a really, really good pitch to me. Their whole coaching staff had came down to my house damn near. And I was supposed to go up there on an official visit. And it was like, say I was supposed to leave that Friday morning, and Thursday night, the whole coaching staff from Tennessee called me. Like, I didn't even tell them, so I don't know how the fuck they found out. But it was like, come on, please don't go on this visit. Like, it's, you know, like we've been locked in with you for a minute, and for you to like try and go up there this late to Sunday, like it worries us. You know what I'm saying? We're not sure how it's gonna look, etc. You feel me? They hit me with all the whoops. You know what I'm saying? They hit me with everything, and I had talked to like 7, 8 of the coaches, bro, and they ended up convincing me not to go. I had my plane ticket and all. I was supposed to go to Louisville. They never ended up going, and I think that was the weekend before signing day for my birthday, January 28th, and I was supposed to go out there on my birthday. And I think, yeah, because signing day the first week of February, like the big one. So yeah, that was like my recruiting experience. Like it was crazy. The only school that I really wanted to offer from at the time, and I didn't get, was Clemson. Their D-line was cold. They had Shaq Lawson, they had Vic Beasley. Shout out Shaq, I be running into my dog a lot too. That boy a real nigga. They had some dogs at the D-line back then, and I always said, yeah, of course, and I always said, like, damn, bro, I ain't gonna lie, Clemson offered me, fam, I'll probably slide, because their D-line was always wrong.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, damn, Coach Sweeney, Coach Dabo, you was supposed to fuck with me, dog. It's cool, though. It's all right.
It's all right.
You feel me? Like, yeah, all that. But, yeah, man, the recruiting process was crazy. It's a lot, really, to try and focus on when you're in high school. That should start probably, depending on who you are, you 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, however old you is, when that should start. And if you're a top player, especially at a top school, like, it's hectic. Like, coaches calling you out of class all day. They, like, physically call you out of class, and then a coach will call your phone during the school day. You know it's school hours. You still call them. You feel me? Like, texting you, blowing you up, DMing you, like, man, all that. So it's like, the recruiting process is crazy. It's a lot to try and focus on when you're young, but, you know what I'm saying? You just got to keep your head strong. You know what I'm saying? If you're worried about all the choices, be blessed to have the choices. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of jets who wanted hella offers and didn't get a lot or didn't get none at all. You feel me? So be blessed with what you got, for sure. That's what I was saying.
Most definitely. Alrighty. Well, with that being said, we are going to take our quick commercial break, and we'll get back, and when we tap back in, we'll get into his college experience, and then we'll have some more for you as well. We got some tea coming up too, so we'll tap back in. Hey y'all, it's your host, Aaliyah Lee. I just want to give a big shout out to all my supporters, followers, and subscribers. Keep tuning in on YouTube and all my social media platforms. Also, a huge shout out to Shivery Productions, MJo, behind the camera, and also wheuat Studios. They got a little bit of everything you need, from Airbnbs to studio time, podcast productions, a little bit of everything. So definitely tap in and keep subscribing. See y'all later. Hey y'all, and welcome back. We are back from our commercial break, and we are going to get back into our conversation where we left off at. So we're getting into, we got a little second with the glasses on. Go ahead. Look into the camera, okay, give me a look. Okay? So we were getting into now with the recruiting process. We talked about that. So now you ended up, what school did you go to?
So I chose to go to University of Tennessee. Shout out Knoxville. Vol Nation, shout out y'all still to this day. Yeah, that's what I ended up choosing. Like I was saying, it was really at the top. It was Alabama, being that was my pop's alma mater. And then I chose the University of Tennessee just because at the end, like, they ended up showing more love than Bama did. And then also, so Coach Cristobal was my recruiter. He ended up getting a head coaching job at Oregon. He left, and then they got another coach. And throughout the transition of coaches, the contact was kind of lost with me and Bama. So I really hadn't talked to him in a minute, and it was going in his senior year, et cetera, et cetera. So I just went ahead and rocked with Tennessee because that's who rocked with me the most for Coach Bush Jones. That's who I started off with. And then after my freshman year, he ended up getting fired. We had Coach Pruitt. And I went there. So I went to Tennessee for my first 4 years, so from 2017 to 2020. Started off as a D tackle. Then I moved to outside linebacker. And just that transition was mainly due to the fact that I just had a lot of baby fat. Like, I'm young for my grade, so I was I was a little chubby. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I was chubby, you feel me? But like when I got into that college program, like as soon as the summer was over, like I had dropped like 20 pounds, like that.
I heard about that college camp.
Nah, that shit serious. It's serious
that's
for
no
sure.
joke for real.
I just naturally lost a lot of weight, and I ended up just getting more towards the size that I am now. So I was just, and then we got a new coach, so we transitioned from a 4-3 scheme to a 3-4 scheme. Maybe we really run a multiple. I don't want to fuck y'all up with too much football shit because I have to. But we switched defensive scheme. We switched the game plan, so I switched positions basically.
So what you prefer to play? If you could pick.
That's what I still play outside linebacker at the end. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the same difference depending on where you play. But that's really what I ended up flourishing at the most. But yeah, in high school, like that's what I got my rank from as a defensive tackle. And then when I, you feel me, got my body right, I switched to outside linebacker, and that's when I started shining for real.
Right.
Like, so, I've always been shining, but that's when, like, as far as in college, like, cause my freshman year, I was a true freshman, but I didn't play in a lot of games, and the games that I played in, I didn't really get a lot of snaps. But then my sophomore year, when we got a new coach, that's when I redshirted. So I redshirted my sophomore year. And then my redshirt sophomore year, I guess you would say, or my third year in school, that's when I really started getting in the roto. Because that's when I really had got my body right. I learned the plays and shit. And that's when I really started shining for real. Like, well, that was like 2019 for real. So yeah, that's when I really started going fed. That's when I started gaining like recognition and shit. 2019 is when I recorded my first sack that year. All types of shit. It was me and my nigga Daryl and my dog DeAndre. Shout out Daryl Taylor, number 52 for the Seahawks. Check that boy out. He be crushing shit. And my dog Dre Johnson. He from South Miami. The three of us was like the main, you feel me, roto that year. And we was going crazy for real. Like, we went to the ball game that year, etc. Then the next year, I played the first 6 games, and then I'll get into it briefly, but I really ain't gonna speak too much on it. But got in trouble. I got kicked out of school. So me leaving Tennessee wasn't by choice. I got kicked out of school. So yeah, I had some legal matters going on, etc.
He was in the streets a little bit.
Yeah.
You would run them streets a little bit?
Yeah.
In Tennessee? I mean, in Tennessee?
Yeah.
What did? Okay.
Yeah, we ain't, you feel me? We ain't gonna muddy. We
won't. But I'm like, in Tennessee or all places, but okay. Yeah. Okay. So then, that's what led you to.
That's what really led me to my departure from Tennessee. I had 2 sacks. I started off the year I think I had a half sack versus South Carolina. Then I went crazy. I had like some TFLs, etc. And I had 2 sacks versus Arkansas and 2 sacks versus Auburn. And the week after that, we was playing Florida. Now, mind you, that week, like at that time, I was tied for first in the SEC, the most competitive conference in college football. I don't know what nobody said. The most competitive conference in college football. I was tied for first in sacks and first in tackles for loss. The 2 most important statistics for my position. And that was throughout, I think, 5 games, 6 games, maybe I had 5 sacks and I had, I think, 8 total tackles for loss. So that was 2020 was like by far my best year. Like, I was just getting better every year. But, you know, unfortunately, like, I wasn't living right, for sure. I can definitely say that. Definitely wasn't living right, but all you can really do is just, like, keep shining for real. Like, you just gotta learn from that shit and just keep shining. Like, when shit like that happened, like, even though it was my fault, it's just like, all right, I gotta rectify the situation, and now what am I gonna do to overcome the situation? So that's really what it was for. So I got kicked out of school towards the end of that season. So it was the fall. That spring I wasn't in school at all. I went back home for a little bit. Like, I came back here for a little bit, and I still had my apartment in Knoxville until like the summer. So after I came home for a little bit, I kind of got tired of being down here, so I went back up there. Cause I had my own crib, you feel me? And like as much as you like, I love my people. Everybody know when you with your people for a little too long.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had went back up to my apartment, and I was working. Shout out Mr. Scott and Miss Laura Bonham. My dad played with Scott in Indianapolis.
Which one did your dad play for?
My pops played for the Bills, the Falcons, and the Colts.
Okay.
Yeah. That boy had one of them legend careers, 14 years. Look it up. It's out there. But where I was. Oh yeah. I was working with Scott, and it was in Alcoa, Tennessee, which was like 30, 40 minutes outside of Knoxville. And I would go up and help him out with his company. He had it's really some cool ass shit, but it's nerdy, but like I'm a cool nerd, you feel me? So it's like it was kind of like up my alley. But that man had $200,000 plus robots, so like at least almost like $300,000 worth of equipment in a shed on his property. And what he does is he gets raw materials and he gets like contract work. So say, you feel me, somebody need 2,000 legs for the desk. That man will get all the wood, you feel me, compute it in the robots. And then the robots, it got 100 arms. And start cutting up all the shit you put in there, start cutting up everything. You feel me? So obviously I ain't know how to do all that. I ain't saying I knew how to do all that. Right. But I was helping him out, you know what I'm saying, moving things. He was teaching me, he was teaching me a little bit about it, how to work the machines, but like, of course, like mainly he was doing like the calculating and computing of everything. But I was just helping him out with that when I went back up there. And then so I was in my crib one night after I had came home from the gym, and my period after I got in trouble, like football was kind of like in question for me, just because, not because I didn't want to play anymore, but just like the severity of my situation, like the opportunities wasn't that high for real. It was only like I had a lot of interest in the beginning, but once like kind of the progress of it went on, it didn't get resolved as quickly as I originally thought it would. I didn't really end up having those solid opportunities. I talked to this school, that school, whatever school that was still like big time schools, but then as time went on, like I stopped hearing from them. So then like at the end, it was only two places that would take me for sure. Eastern Kentucky, shout out Coach Walt Wells. He was the online coach at Tennessee, 2017 with Butch. And then Butch had just got the job at Arkansas State. So Butch called me one night and, you feel me, he talked to me, whatever, and I ended up deciding to go there over Eastern Kentucky. And yeah, that's how I ended up at Arkansas State. So I played my last 2 years because COVID, our generation, everybody, you feel me, extra year, etc.
So you took that extra year?
Yeah. So I played my first 4 at Tennessee and my last 2 at Arkansas State.
Okay. So from Arkansas, so you graduated recently?
I graduated spring? It was a spring before my last season. My memory kind of, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so not this college season, but the last college season, the spring before that fall semester. So would that have been 22, spring of 22 probably? Okay. Yeah, spring of 22, because spring, yeah. So I graduated that spring.
You graduated that spring? Yeah. Okay. And then from then, you came back home?
I graduated before my last season, so then the last, that fall after I graduated, I played my last year. And then like, unfortunately, so my first year at Arkansas State, I got first team Sun Belt. You know what I'm saying? I had got a couple accolades, breakout athlete of the year at the school. Did you feel me? Some good accolades to have for sure. I don't exactly remember a lot of them, but shout out to everybody who, you know what I'm saying, was involved in that process, voted, et cetera, et cetera. I was very highly seen by my peers, or really always, but in my time at Arkansas State, like especially, I was really highly seen by the guys and other people in the conference and stuff. So I had got, you feel me, a couple accolades that first year, and then I decided to come back for that last year just because of what had happened with me. I wanted to get another year of film, just because, you know what I'm saying, I just wanted to give myself the best shot. And I ended up week 2 versus Memphis. I ended up tearing my meniscus, and I ended up sitting out week 3, and I played week 4 through whatever 12.
That quick?
Yeah.
He wasn't playing. Meniscus, that's not no light injury either. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I feel like from what I know about football, I feel like when it comes to injuries, is very detrimental in terms of like your career.
Yeah, man. So injuries in football is just like peanut butter and jelly, you feel me? So it's like you kind of, I guess I just got a high pain tolerance, whatever, but I decided to push through it. They gave me the option. Yeah, they gave me the option to either get surgery at that time or to continue to play the rest of that year and get surgery after the year. And I really just decided that I wanted to, since I decided to come back for the year, I wanted to go hard for the boys, you feel me? Like, and there was like, as long as you know what I'm saying, keep your quad muscle right and it's not killing you bad, like, if you want to play, you can play. Mm-hmm. So I was braced up, you feel me, every week, taking all the precautions, treatment measures, you feel me, this, that, and the third. And I was out there, bro, I missed one game. You feel me? That one game, that's it.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had surgery last December 8th. I ain't gonna forget that date. I had surgery, I had a repair on my meniscus.
Did you have surgery out there? Was that?
I got surgery in Birmingham at the Andrews Clinic, one of the top surgeon offices in the nation. Okay. Dr. Lyle King did my surgery. And then, so the man who was named after Dr. James Andrews, he did a bunch of my dad's surgeries because my dad's from Birmingham, went to Alabama, etc. So you feel me? I think damn near all of my dad's surgeries, except for he had a surgery in 2019 done down here. All of his previous surgeries was done by Dr. Andrews. But now he like a lot older, so Dr. Kane handles a lot of the surgeries. So that's why I had surgery by. So this whole year after that, I've been rehabbing, et cetera, like.
And were you rehabbing there? Were you rehabbing here?
So I came back. I had surgery in Birmingham. I stayed at my auntie house for a couple of days, and then we drove from Alabama to Florida because I had all my shit from my apartment, etc. So we had to drive with all that shit.
Real quick, sorry. You can, is it still live? I was like, you can edit. It's been live for a little while. We went live on the Life After podcast, IG, y'all, today. So always tune in. Anytime you'll see us live, it's going to be live episodes. Thank you for watching, y'all.
Oh yeah, so I stayed at my auntie house for a couple of days, and then we drove back down here, and that was crazy. I just got my fucking knee cut open 2 days ago, and I gotta drive. Well, obviously I'm not driving, but sitting in the car for 14 hours with my people, like, you feel me? That was crazy. So then I couldn't walk for like 6 to 8 weeks, and then because of the timing of my surgery, I wasn't able to do no all-star game, no senior game. Like, I was on the Lombardi Award watch list before my last season at Arkansas State, which is the best line in the country. So I was on the watch list for that. I was on the Senior Bowl watch list, which is the top senior game after the year. I was top 15 in the country in TFLs going into my last year at Arkansas State. You know what I'm saying? So I had all this shit going for myself with the football shit. I had gained back up after I got in trouble and I got hurt. And I didn't get to do none of the off-season shit for real. I wasn't ready for my pro day. Like I said, I didn't do no senior day, none of that. I didn't really get to train. I couldn't walk for like a month and a half.
In terms of like NFL stuff, right?
Yeah. So leading, you feel me, after college, you know, you have your pre-draft training, your senior game, your pro day, your private workouts, whatever, other trials, local days, whatever, etc. So I wasn't really able to get ready for none of that until I worked out on at the local day for the Dolphins, like probably like 3-4 weeks after I got cleared. And I was really fresh out there. I ain't gonna lie, like, but I still look good, like, you know what I'm saying. They said, you feel me. The thing about it is like when you going through this professional shit without seeing like or without learning quickly is, you know what I'm saying. It's just a numbers game, you know what I'm saying. So it's like they can like your performance or like this or that, but if they have X, Y, and Z tied into this player and that player that's at your same position, then it's like, okay, we're gonna keep you on the call log, but we're not necessarily gonna sign you right now.
Yeah,
but we like what you saw
like
though.
The
you
politics is
yeah.
It's the politics.
It's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? I know the profession I got myself into, and I don't fault like the business because it is what it is. My dad taught me it from a jet. You know what I'm saying? I'm very much a realist, so I understand what it is. So I did the Dolphins local day. Still looked pretty good, but I was really fresh off getting back to being able to do football drills, running. I wasn't even really back strong as far as lifting and stuff like that. And so there was a little time between the Dolphins local day and then it was the draft weekend. So I went undrafted. And then I signed a mini camp deal with the Falcons. So I went to the Falcons. I was up there for like 3-4 days. Same thing. They said I was the best outside linebacker that they had brought in, but they had just signed a big free agent, and they had drafted a couple guys. And then, so what happens in football is when you have coaching staffs go from one team to another, it's a turnover of not only coaches but players usually. So they had some coaches from the Saints that ended up with the Falcons, and they brought over a couple of defensive players from the Saints as well. So they had a lot of vets at my position, basically. Same thing, we like what we saw, but we're just going to keep you on the call log for now. We're not going to decide. So I came back home. I was home for a little bit. And then really the whole time throughout this process, my agent keep telling me about the CFL, like, this one team keep hitting me up about you, et cetera, et cetera. Like, they in love with you. The GM loves you. They said if you was Canadian, they would have drafted you, et cetera.
So CFL, Canadian football.
It's Canadian Football League, for those who don't know, CFL. So I was like, all right, like, what they talking about? You feel me? So the Montreal Alouettes. So I signed with the Alouettes. I went up to Montreal, first time in Canada. And Quebec, where Montreal is the only French-speaking province in Canada as their official language. So it was definitely a culture shock for sure. And I went up there. It was the last week of training camp, which was in Trois-Rivières, which means Three Rivers. It's like an hour outside of Montreal. And that's where the training camp was at one of their schools down there locally. Because usually, for those who don't know, when you have training camp, you don't really stay exactly like in the city, you know what I'm saying? You're going to duck off to like the outskirts around where you at. And that's in any level or any league except for high school, basically. So from college on to whatever professional league you play in, that's really how it is. So we was out there. I got the last 3 practices of training camp in. And mind you, in the CFL, like, it would take me so long to explain it, but it's still football, but the game's different. It's different rules. It's for my position, you got to line up a yard off the ball for the neutral zone. And American football, you get to crowd the ball. It's a different point system. It's the field is different. It's wider and longer. The ball is different. The way that they're allowed to scheme, motion players. Everybody in the backfield can move but the quarterback in Canadian football. But in American football, everybody has to be stationary in the ball snap. So it's just a bunch of like different shit that I had to learn super fast. Like 3 practices, and then we had the last preseason game, and I got to make the team still. Like, you feel me? Because it's like, the GM liked me, but if he liked me and I was an ass when I went up there, he wasn't gonna sign me. You feel me? Like, so within those 3 practices, and I played in the preseason game, I ended up making the team. Shout out to the GM of the Alouettes, Danny Machocha, good man, my guy. And they just won a Great Cup too. But I ended up signing with them, and I was up there from like that last week of training camp, all the way up until about like week 10, week 11. And of course, technically, like they released me by then, but what it was basically was we have came to terms, like me and the training staff and then the coaches and the management, that my knee really wasn't where it needed to be for me to excel at the rate that they wanted me to.
Yeah.
Like I was still able to go out there and practice and stuff, but I never got activated for a game. So I was on practice squad the whole time. And like we just came to an agreement that, you know, you just really need to rehab a little bit more. Like you can ball, like you can ball, but it's just like, 1 week my knee will be feeling good, and next week I'm a little stiff and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so it was just kind of like a roller coaster, like up and down with me and my knee at that point, because I had went up to Canada probably like 4 months out of my surgery, and I left around like 6.5. So like I was really still just getting back right,
So when you left, did you come back here?
Yeah, so I came back to Broward, came back home.
How long ago was that? Recently,
like,
or
3 months now, probably like 4 months, 4 months. You know what I'm saying? And I came back home, and then I just started going crazy in the weight room, because like the thing about when you get hurt, and especially if you have a surgery, is like you have to, when you first coming off it, you don't really get to train, of course, have regular off season like you want to. You have to do the rehab, this, that, third. You feel me? It's not the same with what you're used to doing. So I didn't get to weight lift. I didn't get to do none of that. I had lost like 40 pounds. Like I'm normally like 260, 255. I got down all the way to like 215 after my surgery. I had to get back right, get back swole. So like these past like 3-4 months.
7 minutes.
Okay.
But like these past like 3-4 months, I just been locking back in on the weight room and really just getting back strong. And you know what I'm saying? My knee feeling good now and shit. So I'm a free agent, man. Get at me, dog. Whoever watching this, whatever football team, you get a professional if you sign me. So.
Okay. Sign at me in. Okay. Cheers to that, for real, because you got a story behind you, for real.
Yep. It gets greater later, dog.
So you've been home for 3-4 months.
Yeah.
What is like? Is this the first time you've been like you've had all this time to be like, okay,
this is the longest I've lived here in, I guess, 6-7 years. This is the longest I've been home for a long ass time. I was off in school for 6 years, so you know what I'm saying? Just as you feel me, transitioning from a teenager to like a young adult and shit, it's like, of course, you get used to having your liberties, especially when you have your own crib, et cetera, et cetera. I had 2 of my own apartments. I live by myself, you feel me? So it's like, really, I guess you could say 3. You feel me? I had the extreme adult experience throughout college and my professional time in the CFL. And it's just like, the first thing I had to get back used to with my people, bro, like house rules, you know what I'm saying? Like, gotta do this, do that, you know what I'm saying? They ask you to do this, now it's holiday time, old girl, she need help with the decorations, you feel me, all this, all that, go run to the stove, feel me, we need some milk for the mac and cheese, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is, like, it's just, that was the biggest thing for me, but then, like, I'm gonna work wherever I'm at, so it's like, I always stay ready, I'm always in shape. I'm a gym addict, workout addict. I get it in usually at least 5 times a week. I mean, of course, you know what I'm saying? Everybody slacks a little piece, and we is in South Florida, so if I pop out a little piece, like, the next morning, like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm always... just have the Art Basel weekend. Yeah, Art Basel was going crazy. Yeah, that was fun. Art Basel was going crazy, but... really, that's really the only time, like, and then even if I do that, it's like, I'ma still go hard, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just built different. I just thank my dad for being a beast, so I'm a beast, you know what I'm saying? Like, so to get into all of that, like, who you are today, because all that, again, goes into who you are today, I feel like there's still so much outside of football you do as well. Like, I did my research. You be doing music, and talk about your fashion too, because
Yeah, you put that shit on. You put that shit on. So
do your homework on KB being multifaceted. But yeah, man, I've been writing music since I was like 10 years old. I used to play the piano, like I said earlier in the episode. I've always been like,
sorry to interrupt you. Explain to like who are you today? Like again, somebody who doesn't know you, who are you today? Or like going forward, not just outside of football too.
Who I am today, man. Man, I'm just myself. I pride myself on just always being able to stand out, but stand out humbly. But you know what I'm saying? I'm an artist. I've been writing music since I was like 10. I've been recording since I was like 13. Man, I've been making music for a long time. Also make clothes. I had general apparel wear, Ivy wear, that was like sweats, t-shirts, shorts, etc. I stopped continuing to do business with the company that I was doing it with, so it had fell off for a minute, and then I had was trying to just focus on locking in the football shit for a little bit, so I had put that to the side for the piece. But picking up the clothes and shit back now, so that's gonna pop back out. I always have a lot of ideas, man. I'm creative. I think I get the athletic side from my dad and the creative side from my mom. So yeah, man, I got a lot of shit going now. I always record. Like I said, I'm getting back into the swinging thing with the clothes, so the clothes gonna pop back off. The music always coming though. You can find me on the Ivy Man. Like I said, on SoundCloud, on Apple Music. I'm pretty sure I'm on Spotify, YouTube, all that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Distro Kid, you feel me? Do all that for you. But yeah, shit, I always got something going, man. I just, like I said, I don't never put myself in a box of just being a football player, especially like, just because a lot of people give like the misconceptions to athletes and especially football players from Florida. Like, we get a bad rap around the country as being the wild ass niggas, like niggas with goals and the locks. And
I've actually heard that before. I'm in the basketball world, but I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, like we get a bad rap throughout, like, you feel me? So it's like.
So speaking of that, real quick, too, my last question for you is gonna be, what would be your advice, especially specifically to Florida football players? With that being said, but also to your advice to any athletes out there in general.
My advice for you young athletes, man, first things first, should nobody be money hungry no more, it's NIL. So stay out last in school.
That's it, man.
Athlete, you feel me? Continue all your time, etc. Maximize everything, extra workouts. Make sure you get your grades right, etc. But the biggest thing for these young athletes, keep your social media clean, bro. Don't be going live, doing all this and that. Like, just keep everything clean. If you have a face, you're gonna be able to make money off of yourself nowadays throughout how they have it set up. So just keep it clean and know when to keep it funky. You know what I'm saying? Like, just know how to. Sometimes, you feel me, you have to have a little switch, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how that shit is. So learn when to know when to have that switch. And trust me, like, I've always been an individual, like, as far as myself. I'm a team player, but like, everybody know me for me. So it's like, I feel you, but just know when to be you and know when to, you know what I'm saying, keep it kosher.
So with that being said, too, my last piece of advice too, for especially with the episode we had, is really just be yourself inside in your sport and outside of your sport. I feel like you're also a great example of. I feel like you express yourself in so many ways, one on the field, but also in the way you dress, with the way you carry yourself, with the way you talk as well. You can tell you're very educated too. So yeah, that's also my last piece of advice. So as we wrap it up, I just want to say thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, for sure.
Of course. So yes, follow him on all IGs. Follow The Life After as well. It's The Life After Pod on all social medias. And then my personal is Aaliyah.Lee _ under all of them as well. So as we wrap it up, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe button, and in the comments below, let me know any of your thoughts, concerns, any of that. We want to hear it all. And like I said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back with another episode. Thank you guys.
Cheers.
Bye. Cheers to that. Cheers to a good episode. So hey y'all, we're just back to get a little bit more information because you do music and that's a big topic. So first things first, what is the genre of music that you do?
I don't want to sound like head ass, but I don't really like to describe my genre, but mainly, of course, like I rap. But I don't say I'm a rapper because I have a deep music catalog. Like I've been a music head my whole life, listening to music for hours upon hours. I used to print out lyrics to songs before niggas had phones. Like you feel me? Like I said, I've been writing music since I was 10. So like so my music catalog deep. So my genre like is just my life. Like I said, one of my nicknames is Squid. I call it Squid Life Music. Like it's just me. Like it's just how I feel being versatile. Like throughout my whole every facet of my life is the same way in my music. I might make a rap song. I might make something you could say like a little more R&B, quote unquote. I can make.
Can you sing a little bit too, or
I got a little
vocal,
song
little
like
vocal,
I got harmony. Like I'm not like I ain't no Chris Brown that nigga.
Yeah.
I can give you a little something, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And shout out my pops because my pops can sing. So that's a little bit of the music shit too. But
and then
yeah,
like your single with what's your what's out right now?
What's out right now? Go check out. Just dropped not too long ago. My single Ice Spice. It should be on all you feel me DSPs, YouTube, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that shit, bro. Go check it out. I also have an old tape under my old artist name, but if you look it up, it's called Ivy League, IVEY League. That's a full tape, and then my newest single is called Ice Spice. So go check that out. Like I said, social media. You can follow me on Instagram, my main Instagram, KB_Versace, and my swag Instagram at Squid Life Rockstar. Squid with 2 B's, Life Rockstar. So that's how you can find me as far as that.
Thank you for sharing. And yeah, like you said, everybody tune in to his music. And yeah.